Alright, I got this. Hi. Hello, everybody. We made it to the beach. We are so glad to finally be done with the trip. Not that the trip wasn't amazing. It was so beautiful. It was such a life experience. We learned so many things. It was really invigorating to reach the beach and jump into the water and, hit the edge of America finally. But it's a relief to be done because it's really tiring to wake up every day and walk 17 miles. And it's going to be an adjustment getting into this new life where we have to work a job again and we have to wake up at a normal time and we know what's happening in the future, as odd as that sounds. But we're looking forward to it. We're staying in Sunland, LA with my aunt, who has graciously allowed us to stay in this beautiful guest house. And we're going to stay here a while, save up, get an apartment together, and we want to go to San Francisco State University to go to school. So we'll be applying there for the springtime. So that's what we're planning for the future. And you thank everybody. You thank everybody right now.
All right. And we wanted to thank everyone, especially even the people who just followed us on Facebook, the people who never even got to meet us. You guys were just so encouraging through this entire trip. I mean, the rainy days, the cold days, the snowy days. You guys would message us and comment on our photos, and you would just give us the most wild words of encouragement, and it really helped us get through our day. And obviously a big thank you to all of the people who we stayed with along the trip, or even the people who just pulled over to say some kind words to us. You guys are awesome, and we never expected that. I mean, we never expected any of that. So you have, even the people who think that they were just a very small part of our trip, you have no idea how better you made our day. And we also made a list here of some people who really went far out of their way to make our day or our week better on the trip. So we just wanted to thank some of those people and give them a shout out.
Absolutely, and the first two people on the list are probably the most important. One is our family. Our family did so much to support us in so many ways. Our close family, our extended family, some family that we had never met before. And that was really great. I have a lot of family here in California that has supported me as we've come to the closing days of this trip. Thank you so much to my grandpa, both of my grandpas, my grandmother who survived cancer, my uncle, my mother. She's at home. She's very supporting. All of our mothers and fathers have been very, very supporting of our trip. Mike's grandma actually has helped us to such a great degree. She's been such a kind woman. Drew's mother has got us hotels on so many bad, thundery, bad, stormy nights or when we were in horrible areas. So I can't do enough to thank our family. And then secondly is Livestrong. The people at Livestrong have been so passionate and have gone so far beyond our expectations in supporting us and letting us know that we are supported. And we appreciate that so much. There was one time in Kansas they sent a letter from every member at the Livestrong headquarters telling us how much they appreciated what we were doing, and that really hit home. That was so great. So, specifically Tina Bicklebeck, she was our first intern of the trip. Amy Fletcher, she was our second intern, and Seth Rogers, our final intern. Brian Myers was one of the grassroots people at Livestrong who helped a lot, and Abby Malloy from Chicago, who was one of the Livestrong navigators, was a great help.
Yes, and we would also like to thank Kristen Brewer from Newton, Kansas. She was probably the most helpful individual from the trip. She found us probably 50 plus places along the trip where we were in the middle of nowhere and we had no place to stay. She would always find a way. And I don't know how she did it, but she was way better at it than us. Because when we would call hotels, they would just hang up on us. When she called hotels, she would make magic happen. So thank you, Kristen. You made our trip 50 days better. We would also like to thank Pete Miller from, I think he was from Lewistown, Illinois, and that was right before Astoria and Rushville and Camp Point and all these towns where we picked up a lot of following on our Facebook. And that was actually because of this one man, Pete Miller. He told us that he was going to share our page, and a lot of people say that and not much happens, but he shared our page, and I guess everyone in town knew this guy because we got thousands of followers within the next couple days, and that helped bring in thousands of dollars of donations and just a lot of help through the trip.
Absolutely, and we also want to thank an anonymous donator. Donated $2,000. I wish that we could share with you who that was, but they're anonymous. So I will move on to Dave Ulrich. He was a big help all throughout Illinois. He gave us so many places to stay. He helped us on so many nights.
He still helps today.
Yeah, he still helps today. Right now, he's hosting an event.
A $5 challenge for Livestrong.
$5 challenge, so please take the $5 challenge.
It's right on our page.
But when we got to Quincy, Illinois, we had such an amazing reception. We had a taco party, actually. Taco pizza party. It was a mix. It was pretty great, though. Dave Ulrich did so much for us.
Yes, thank you. And we also want to thank Jim and Wendy Leap and the Leap family. We stayed with them in Springfield, Ohio for a couple days. It was some family friends of George's family. And they were wonderful. They set up events for us so that we weren't bored while we were there. I mean, we always had things to do every day. And they were awesome. We felt at home. So thank you very much, Wendy and Jim Leap, for that. And Officer Martinez from Indianapolis. He was a state trooper in Indianapolis. And he gave us one of the most unique situations of the trip. I don't know. I mean, we just had a lot of fun with him, to be honest. He was just a wild guy, and he just gave us a really good time, and that's just some times that we will never forget. So thank you very much, Officer Martinez. We appreciate that.
And we also want to thank the people in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. It was strange. We were walking up Pocono Mountain, and this was uphill for so long, and at the top of it, we're looking for a place to stay, and this man, Steve, who had a heart of gold, phenomenal man, he pulls up on his dirt bike and he says, "Hey, you guys need a place to stay? What are you doing?" We talk to him for a while, and we go back, and there's this like Cinco de Mayo taco party going on with like 20 people, and we just sat around the campfire and we talked all night, and I carved a walking stick and they all signed it. And it was just one of the most beautiful, memorable events of the whole trip. So thank you to everyone who was part of that. I also want to thank Brad Kirstein from Flagstaff. This man, we were trying to hitchhike south, far too cold in northern Arizona, so we went straight south to Flagstaff. And he was one of the only people who would pick us up. And he was such a kind man. We got a chance to jam out with him inside his home in Flagstaff. And most amazingly, this is a man who had never met us before. He gave us his vehicle to go to the Grand Canyon. And this was an act of kindness of such that we had never seen before. He had never met us, he didn't know us, and yet he gave us his RAV4, and we drove to the Grand Canyon, and we had a great time. So thank you so much, Brad Kirsty.
Gary Reeves, he's a man that we met back in Phoenix, Arizona. And we got to a point at the end of our trip where we actually just had no money. Like, we looked at our bank account, we had like $3 in it, and we were like, I don't know what we're going to do. So we decided to auction off our flag on the Facebook. And not only Gary Reeves did this, but he was one of which who said, "I will give you $500 to not auction off that flag." And he just put $500 in our PayPal account. That was extremely unexpected. You know, we expected maybe like $50 or something, you know, to get us more of the way through. I mean, thank you so much. Seriously, you saved the end of our trip, and I would not thank you. It would have been terrible if we couldn't end. I mean, imagine that.
Now we get to keep the flag.
Yes, and now we get to keep the flag, which we're very happy. We didn't want to get rid of that, so that was a hard decision for us. Thank you to Adam Mitchell from Mahopac, New York. We met Adam Mitchell the second day of our trip, and he is a survivalist from the Army. He's biked across Canada, and he also owns a dojo, and he teaches martial arts. So he was outside of his dojo, and he saw us walking past him on the second day, and he invites us over, and he says, "Hey, you guys can stay here for the night." And we had like 90 to 100 pounds on our backs. We were dying. We weren't getting any more than 9 miles a day. It was awful. He went through all of our bags, all of our stuff, and said, "This is what you need. This is what you need to ship home." And we probably left that day with half the weight. He saved our trip. We were doing 15 miles the next day. So you could imagine he helped a tremendous amount. We wouldn't have made it so far in such a short amount of time without him. So thank you, Adam.
And we also want to thank Darzell from Chicago. He's the head of some student housing over there, and he's a friend of Mike's sister. And it gave us a chance. He's kind of the whole reason we went up to Chicago, because we knew we had a place to stay. And it gave us a chance to really see that great city when we had a place to stay. And we got a unique chance also to speak to a language school in Chicago. We got to give 2 lectures, and that's something that is really cool that we get the chance to say that, because we never expected to be able to do anything like that. So we want to give a big thank you to Darzell for that opportunity, and we also want to thank Dave and Stephanie from Freeport. They were a big help. They were like our first real break of the trip. And they let us set up for like 3 days in their house. They had this really great hot tub, really nice house. And we got there and they showed us so much hospitality. They cooked these great meals for us and they were so kind. And just thank you very much to Dave and Stephanie.
Yes. And then there was Katie O'Malley, which gave us one of the first coolest experiences, I guess. We were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we were just leaving. We were literally a mile away from the border of Pittsburgh, I suppose. And we got a call from Katie O'Malley saying that she wanted to give us free tickets to the Penguins hockey game and to the Pirates baseball game. And she actually got us free tickets right above the dugout to the Pirates game and some really good seats at the hockey game. And that was actually our first major baseball and hockey game that we've ever been to. And that was amazing because we got to see the first playoff games with the Bruins and the Penguins, and the Bruins are our home team, so that was very exciting. That was an intense game, you could say. And then there was Alicia Hammond, which was one of the most awesome people of the trip, for sure. We met her in Emporia, Kansas, and she is actually one of the Kansas Livestrong leaders. And she gave us our own apartment for 2 whole weeks. And this wasn't just any apartment. This was a very nice, I think it was just redone before we went in there. I mean, it was beautiful. Thank you so much, Alicia. She fed us the whole time. We actually got to put on a Livestrong event with her, and we did a kids fitness camp thing, and that was pretty awesome. We had a really good time with her.
She gave us a limo tour this time.
She gave us a limo tour.
Who does
Really? I mean, she was awesome. So thank you very much, Alicia. You have no idea how much we appreciated that.
And so on that note, on the Kansas note, I want to send a thank you to the entire Midwest, because people weren't joking when they talked about Midwest hospitality. It's a different kind of vibe, a different feel from the East and the West Coast. People are more open, they're more trusting, and I don't know why that is, but we appreciated it so much. Strangers that you walk by, they'd wave at you, they'd say hello, and it was there that we slept in a tent the least amount on the trip. I mean, throughout the entire Midwest, we must have set up a tent like 5 times, maybe. So thank you so much to the entire Midwest. And we also want to thank Kevin and Julie Allen from Rushville. They
were originally from Rushville, but they actually met us in
Colorado.
Yes.
Yes. So they were such a big help. They got us so much winter stuff that we needed and that we didn't think we need. And they helped put us up in what was it? It was a ski lodge right before a storm. There was a big storm coming through on one of the passes we were trying to walk up, and we would have been absolutely drowned in snow.
Yes.
So thank you so much. They gave us hot hands, and we probably would have froze without them.
Oh man, those hot hands came in handy so many times.
Jimmy Ortiz.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Jimmy Ortiz. I don't know why we like Jimmy Ortiz so much. He was the man. He made us our first. I think it was like the second day of the. No, it was the third day of the trip, and we went out and we were starving, and we were on this like strict peanut butter sandwich and nuts diet, and we were like, you know what, a pizza sounds just wonderful right now. We had just been walking on a trail all day, so we go into this Italian pizza place that looks pretty good, had good reviews, and Jimmy Ortiz just gave us a free large pizza, and it was a pretty good pizza. It was one of our favorite pizzas for sure because Jimmy Ortiz made it.
I have to add, I don't know why it was so good. Maybe it's because it was one of our very first, but Jimmy Ortiz was such like an uplifting man. He was so excited. He was one of the first people who really wanted to take a photo with us, and that was so cool. So
and it was the first free meal we got. We didn't expect that. We were going in there to pay for that meal, so I mean, it was intense. And we want to thank O'Reilly. O'Reilly is our old English teacher from Manchester, and he's the man. We love O'Reilly. And he was in Chicago while we were in Chicago, so he brought us out to the what was it, the Little Goat Diner?
Yeah,
I think it was. And that was a wonderful breakfast. That was a really cool little diner in Chicago. And thank you, O'Reilly, and thank you for following the trip. He's one of the few teachers of ours who actually have followed the whole trip the whole way.
Okay, Bob from Walsenburg. He did us a big service. We got to actually speak to kids who were high school dropouts there, and we got to tell them about our trip. Hopefully, we motivated them. We gave them our story. So, what he did for us was we stayed with him for like 3 nights, and they cooked us the most phenomenal home cooked dinners. His whole family
So good.
was phenomenal. And Bob and Kent was his friend. They actually gave us the opportunity to climb one of the Spanish peaks. So we had always wanted to climb one of the Colorado mountains, and that was like one of the very first ones we saw. So to be able to do that was such an opportunity. So
Because we
thank
were
you.
actually on this road for it was about 75 to 100 miles. We're on this just dead road, absolutely nothing the whole time. And there was this one little mountain that you could see in the distance the whole entire time. And it slowly got bigger and bigger, and that was the mountain that we got to climb. It was called the West Spanish Peak. So that was pretty cool.
And we also want to thank Sean Brucker and his girlfriend, and we met them right before Pittsburgh. He brought us to his house. He gave us a place to stay. I think he drove back out and he got us for maybe 2 nights or so. And his girlfriend was she's brave enough to share her story with us. She had her daughter die of cancer, and hearing that was a very changing part of the trip for me. I got to see how we're really affecting people, how we're really helping people. And that was really great. They brought us to a Relay for Life event, and it was the only one we got to go to, but it was a really, really nice opportunity. We got to speak there, and we got to walk for a while, which is what we're best at. So thank you so much to Sean.
Thank you to Pizza Unlimited from Rushville, Illinois. Pizza Unlimited I think it was the #1 pizza of the trip. I think it was the greatest pizza. We had it twice, and we actually stayed with the owners. And they were really awesome. They helped us out a tremendous amount. We had a great time with them. And yeah, wonderful pizza. If you live near Rushville and you haven't tried Pizza Unlimited, you need to go, because it is good. Sorry, Chicago, but it was...
Second best pizza of the trip. It was close first. Jimmy Ortiz had the first.
It's close. It's close.
Close.
But yeah, Chicago didn't touch it. Chicago did not touch it. Thank you to Gizmo and Jen Adams from Manchester, Connecticut. Gizmo is a dog who goes out and he does good things for people. He's a, what is it called?
Therapy dog.
A therapy dog, right. And Jen Adams is his owner. She is wonderful. She did some fundraisers for us, and she came out to see us, and they're just a wonderful team together, and they do some really great things for the community.
Where am I? Jimmy Danity from Savannah, Illinois. I don't want to be stereotypical, but he was such a hillbilly. Great guy. No way he's ever going to see this. He doesn't go on the internet. But we wanted to thank him anyway because he gave us such a unique experience. He brought us out in the back. We got to go fishing on his pond. We got to mess around with his mules. And, that was just a real good time.
He was the man. He was definitely the man. That was great.
He was the man. I'm a little lost here. Oh, shout out to Missouri. No tents throughout the whole state of Missouri, and this is the only state that we did not have a place to sleep, that we didn't have to sleep outside in. So thank you so much to everyone from Missouri.
Missouri was pretty cool. It was a quick stay. Missouri felt like it couldn't have been more than 10 days. I mean, we walked into Missouri, and next thing you knew, we were in Kansas City.
Exactly 10 days.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't know why we walked so fast through there, but we did. Thank you to Ron Boyne. Ron Boyne is a friend that I grew up with in church, and he was wonderful. He gave us one of our favorite meals of the entire trip, which if there's anything we loved on this trip, it was food. That's what we looked forward to.
Yes.
And he gave us not one, but 2 wonderful steak dinners. And nothing beats a steak dinner. I think we can all agree on that.
My favorite steak dinner on the trip.
He put us up in hotels, and he was just wonderful. He was a great guy. We had a really good time with you, Ron, so thank you. And whoever the person was who left this bag of drinks and snacks on the side of the road for us. I forget what state that was in. But yeah, somebody just left a bag on the side of the road and it had a little note that said, "For the flag," because we were walking with a flag. So thank you for that, whoever you are. That was quite a gift.
And I also want to thank Danny Chin from Morton, Illinois. He's my family. And actually, when Drew had first joined the trip, he had gotten injured. He injured his leg. I guess he wasn't used to walking our kind of distance yet. So Danny Chin put us up for an entire week in his house. And he was just real great to us. Took us out all the time. And it was a good chance for us to rest. And thank you so much to Danny Chin, because I don't know what we would have done without you. And Osprey donated bags to our trip. And this was at a point where our bags were really worn out. They were real uncomfortable. They weren't doing so well. And the bags they gave us were not, cheap bags. They gave us really nice bags, and we weren't expecting this. So big shout out to Osprey. Thank you so much.
Bob from the Burrow Gym Motel in Aguila, Arizona. Now, Aguila, Arizona, most likely none of you have ever heard of because it's in the middle of nowhere. It is in the desert, and there's nothing there but a cafe and a motel called the Burrow Gym Motel. And this guy Bob works there, and he actually put me up and the team for I don't know, a couple days. I think we stayed there for a little rest, and he was awesome. We had a really great time with him. He drove us around, showed us around the area, and thank you, Bob. Thank you very much. And we have been trying so hard to find out what this lady's name is. I believe that her name is Diane. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it's Diane.
I think it was Diane, yeah.
That's what I think it was. And she was from Lamar, Colorado. And she was up there. She was like one of the biggest helps with the trip. Because we had just walked into Colorado. This is the beginning. And we had no winter gear. We knew it was getting cold very fast. We had all short sleeves and shorts. And we had maybe like $200, $250 to our names. So you could imagine for 3 guys to get all winter gear for walking across the country in snow over 10,000 foot passes, you'd have to have some pretty good gear. So this lady, we couldn't even believe it. She went to so many businesses around Lamar, Colorado, and got them to donate money to us for equipment. And she got a few clothing stores to give us some clothes, and we left that place with more warm clothes than we needed. That's for sure. We had more than enough. Thank you so. I don't know what we would have done. We would have froze or like walked down to New Mexico. We didn't really want to go to New Mexico. So thank you for letting us experience the beautiful Colorado. Colorado was probably the second most beautiful state that we saw, right under Arizona. Yeah.
Arizona was very nice.
Arizona was
unexpectedly beautiful.
We expected it to just be desert, but it's pretty good.
In addition, we don't have on the list the woman who helped us sell all the T-shirts. We don't remember the name right now.
Oh, in Rushville?
No, we just did a big T-shirt fundraiser, and they took a while to ship out, but they shipped out.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, from Camp Point, Illinois. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of the T-shirt company. Aztec.
I couldn't tell.
I think it's like Aztec something. She owns a T-shirt company in Camp Point, Illinois. And she's actually going through cancer right now, and she was going through it at the time when she helped us with the T-shirts. And she offered to donate, if any of you bought the T-shirts that we were selling online. She made them, and she made them for free. We only had to pay for the actual shirt itself. So thank you very much for that. You have no idea how much that helped. We saved hundreds of dollars from doing it that way. So I hope that her cancer treatment's going good. I haven't heard anything bad about it so far, so I think it's good.
Yes, thank you. So thank you so much to all those people. We couldn't thank you enough, and anyone we left out. Corny as it sounds, you're in our hearts. Thank you so much for everything you did for us on the trip.
Absolutely.
And another big thank you to everybody who helped us.
I like to say, if we had never met any of you before, if we didn't have the Facebook, if we never had any help, we would have made it. We would have made it from Connecticut all the way to California, and it would have sucked. It would have been not nearly as good as it was. You guys made our trip that much easier, that much better. We were fed most nights. We got to stay in a bunch of hotels. I mean, we had it a lot easier than it had to be. And, you made it enjoyable, so thank you. Thank you. We can't thank you enough. This was a opportunity of a lifetime for us. We'll probably never do something this big again. If we do walk across another country, it won't be as long as America. But we loved it. We loved most of it. We had our hard days. Yeah. We had our days where we all hated each other.
And we loved the fact that we got to do it for Livestrong.
Absolutely.
If I had to go back, I would choose them again. So, thank you to everybody, and have a good day. Thank you for watching.
Live strong.
Live strong.